Rez has a 4.9 rating on Google with over 17,000 reviews, and the Zero Res Gotta Love It guarantee makes it easy to get what you pay for. This month, get 3-room Zero Resified starting at just $129, and don't forget about your air ducts. Take an additional $75 off when you get your air duct Zero Res clean. Call Zero Res right now, 952-ZERO-RES, or go online to ZeroResMinnesota.com and say you want the AM 950 special. Backward or forward spells the same. Zero Res.
Thanks to everyone who's continued to support AM 950. Good news, the AM 950 2024 calendar is ready to go, featuring photos I took around Minnesota and important progressive dates. Members that sign up for a recurring monthly $10 membership will receive a 2024 AM 950 calendar as a thank you. Make a recurring monthly $25, $50, or $100 donation. You'll get the AM 950 calendar and the brand new AM 950 tote bag as a thank you as well. Go to am950radio.com for the details on the membership. Thank you so much for supporting AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Overnight cloudy skies clear out with a low of 20, then sunshine Tuesday with a high of 27. For more than 40 years, the Great Wall Restaurant has been serving up Szechuan and Mandarin favorites. The Great Wall is located just north of 50th in France on the Minneapolis-Edina City line. Check them out at greatwallrestaurant.us.
Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded.
The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host, guest, random reptoid, or chupacabra may not necessarily reflect those of AM 950 Radio, its affiliates, or its sponsors. Now, it's time to step into the unknown. There are things people experience but never talk about. A shadow moving in the corner, flickering of the lights, a disembodied voice. We invite you to talk with us. Share your story, share your experience, because this isn't just your story. This is our story. This is GhostBox Radio with Greg Bakun.
And this is GhostBox Radio on AM 950, where every night we talk about the paranormal, ufology, Bigfoot, and so much more. My name is Greg Bakun, and it's Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. I hope you've had a great weekend. I had, not that you asked, but I had a very good weekend, as it happens. I figured I could tell you about it, or I could give you some key words, which sound really cool when you say them, that I think that would really drive home the kind of weekend that I had. Okay. Taco bar. Okay, that's the first word. I know it's 2 words, but whatever. I'm already ruining my own rules here. Yes. So taco bar, beer, homemade guacamole, darts, pool, and winning. Okay, those are the words that come to mind when I think about this weekend. And winning might be the most important one, because I'm playing a card game here that I've never played before, and I'm winning. Now, let's not get too carried away. Of course, it's not like a card game with, like, real cards. It's Cards Against Humanity, but still, it was a tough crowd, and your boy here, Greg, came out ahead. So that's all that really needs to be known. Anyone else in the comments who decides to type in otherwise, don't listen to them. Don't read their comments. All right, so that being said, you could tell I had an amazing weekend. I'm going to have an amazing Monday here. I am so excited to talk tonight with Miss Echo Bodine. It's been a long time, and I am very excited about it. For those who are not familiar, and I can't imagine that that's the case, but I'm going to go through it anyway. Echo Bodine first discovered she was born with psychic abilities and the gift of healing at the age of 17. Her abilities include clairvoyance, which is seeing, clairaudience, which is hearing, clairsentience, which is sensing, and clairgustance, which is smell. She took psychic classes for 2 years and practiced on friends and family for 12 years before beginning her full-time practice as a psychic healer, ghostbuster, and teacher in 1979. In 1981, Echo began teaching classes on psychic development and spiritual healing. She has appeared on numerous national television shows, including Sally Jesse Raphael, Sightings Beyond with James Van Prague, NBC's The Other Side, Unexplained Mysteries, NBC's Today Show, A&E, and Encounters. Paranormal Borderline did a feature story on her family, calling them the world's most psychic family. She has also been a guest on numerous radio shows throughout the country, including Coast to Coast. Echo hosted her own cable TV show called New Age Perspectives for 2 years. She had her own radio show on FM 107 in Minneapolis for 3 years called Intuitive Living, and Paramount Pictures solicited her services for the promotion of the movie Ghost. From 2003 to present, Echo has been the director of the Center for Intuitive Living, where she teaches numerous classes on spiritual development, living by intuition, ghost busting, psychic development, and laying on hands healing classes. In 2010, she began doing online psychic development and intuition classes. She is a field representative for the Edgar Casey ARE and had a bi-monthly podcast with Bobby Sullivan called Intuitive Living for 10 years. Currently, she has a TV show on Bold Brave TV every Tuesday night called Enough is Enough. Echo Bodine, welcome to GhostBox Radio.
Hello, you darling. Wow, that's a lot of stuff.
I'm kind of tired, actually. I'm not going to lie that I think I said my quota in words tonight, and I'm just going to hand it over to you. You know what you're doing. You don't need me on here. You could just be you, and I think everyone would be much happier. So,
No. Don't you dare go away. Yeah, I'll just sit here. Hi, everybody. No.
how are you doing tonight?
You know, it's a good thing you emailed me today, because I'm having a sleepy Monday at about 5. No, I've been over at my teaching center. So I came home and I saw your email. I thought, oh my God, thank you, Greg. Because I thought, I'm going to crawl in early tonight. And so honey, I'm good now. I'm awake and I've got my coffee. Of course, it's decaf, but I still drink it anyway. And I'm ready to rock and roll with you.
Well, that's awesome. You know, what's funny is that, and I don't mean this in a derogatory way. I felt that there is a possibility that you may have, that you needed the email today. Yeah. I mean, I was going to send it regardless, but I really felt like after, like on my way and stuff, I was like, I think she needs it tonight. I don't know. Maybe I
did. I can't believe it. It was perfect. Just perfect.
That's amazing. Now, I don't know if you remember, last time I spoke with you, and I mean, you speak to hundreds of people. You were on my show, which was on a different platform about 8 years ago. It was still called GhostBox something. It's always called GhostBox something.
Okay.
And we had a great conversation, and I said, I'd love to have you on the show again, and then you never heard from me again. So that's just kind of how I operate, I guess. But, you know, it was worth the wait.
Well, honey, you weren't kidding. You said, I'll see you. I want you back. You didn't mention in 8 years, but that's okay. Yeah. It's perfect timing, right?
It's better late than never. Folks, we're going to have a great program. I saw so many people excited, Echo, that you're going to be on with me tonight. And I want to put it out to our audience. If you have a question for Echo, please put it in the comments, though I will stress, and this is, you know, just me saying it, that it's not about readings or anything tonight, just general questions about what Echo does and stuff. I would appreciate that, and put it in there. And you know, one thing I will also thank you for is, for some reason, every time I want to figure out, because I can never remember my Claires, you know what I mean? I could never remember them. And thank you for putting them into your bio, because I can never find them, and now I know where to find them over there. And I'm Claire forgetful. I think that's what I am.
Honey, you're not the only Claire forgetful person on the planet. I promise. Lots of people. Oh yeah. I hear it all the time. Now, what were they again? Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. You're right. You're right on track.
So okay, I want to start with this, because the last time we spoke, this was not part of the discussion, and that is Enough is Enough, which I think will be the name of my autobiography. I think that would work perfectly. But the show is called Enough is Enough. It's on Bold Brave TV. What is that, please?
Honey, you know what? It's so cool. Bold Brave called me. You know, probably 6 months ago now and said, what would you think about hosting your own show? And I was like, what? What? I mean, really, Greg, it took me a couple days to just go, did somebody ask me? Yeah. And I read the email again. Wow. So I said yes. And then he said, really nice guy. He said, okay, so what do you want to call your show? And I thought, oh my God, I have to name the show. Oh my God, I don't know what to call it. And, Craig, it was just a trip. Okay, so I went to bed that night and I just said to the universe, I don't know what to call my show. And they want the name of it now. And I said, so will you help me? Honestly, the next morning when I woke up, Greg, out of my mouth came, enough is enough. And at first it didn't click, like, enough is enough. Yeah, you're right. Enough is enough. And then I went, oh my God, that's the name of the show.
That's great.
Yeah, honey, it was cool. And that's, really the whole idea behind the show is enough is enough. I'm tired of people portraying people like us in a negative light. They make fun of it. Last night I watched a movie. So many people have told me to watch, what's that show called? Men Who Stare at Ghosts.
Oh.
And finally I thought, okay, I'm going to watch that movie. It's like, I just wanted to crawl through the TV screen and punch whoever wrote that. I mean, I just didn't think it was very nice. And then I was really curious who wrote this. So I went online and it said, it's a dark satire on the new age. And it's like, yeah, it was. And so it's stuff like that, Greg, that gets me going. Like, okay, enough is enough. And so
I like it.
Yeah, thanks, honey.
I like it.
I do too. Yeah.
And I'll tell you, I mean, if I were to have my enough is enough moment, I think for me, it's like looking within my field, my paranormal field.
Yeah.
And I'm finding a lot of things that, and I know that I brighten people's day constantly when I talk like this, but I find enough is enough of the way that the people who are supposed to be in our field are treating the field.
Yeah.
And I understand that we all want to have our events and have fun and experience stuff, but it seems like that's all it is now, that there isn't any more like trying to find people in my field that's paranormal that actually want to help spirits and help people. I find that to be very it is all about who you know and where you're going to investigate and what place that everyone's been to 100 times. But
I know. Yes, it's like, really, you're going to go there again? How many times can people go to the Palmer House? But they're setting it up again in springtime. I honestly, I just couldn't believe it. It's like, come on, go find something new.
And I understand too that there's certain locations that people have befriended spirits and stuff, and that's fine. I just don't understand, personally speaking, Echo, that you want people who want to go to bad places, places like reformatories, and not to try to maybe be company to some spirits that might be trapped or still think that they are incarcerated, but more of these people who like the thrill of hoping to get scratched or hoping to get something, or the people who fake it by pretending that they're being taken over. I'm just, okay, can we call this an unofficial offshoot of Enough is Enough tonight? I mean, I think
yes.
That's where I'm going with it.
Let's do it. Yes. One of the ladies here, Julianne, she said, well, that was based on the CIA Stargate program, which was so far from the truth. I do know that the Russians have been doing remote viewing since the 40s. I don't know very much about it, honey, and then I know that we have people in our government who also can do remote viewing. But, there was a real sarcastic tone to the whole movie. And that's just what bummed me out. I mean, like halfway through, I'm going, okay, now, are they trying to make this a satire? Do they think they're showing the truth of all this? I mean, they made it, I don't know, it just didn't make sense to me. But
it's like, if you have a problem, if you don't agree, okay, but make a case for what is you don't agree with. And every time I see someone do that, it's not a logical case per se. It's more of people just being like angry at us for believing. They just want to prove us wrong.
Yeah, they do.
Is how I feel about it.
God, and that just gets me going, really. Oh, God.
How is the program? How is the show being received? I bet it's being received very well.
Well, my boss called and said that it's in the thousands of people that are watching it. And last week they told me, my producer told me the countries that it's that are watching. Okay, so United States, Canada, Italy, Poland, Australia, Argentina, New Zealand. Oh, honey. I can't, there's like 3 more and they're gone in my mind. But I mean, it was really cool.
That's great.
I was just blown away. Yeah.
Now, because we're going to head off to break and for our first segment in a minute or two.
Okay.
How can people, and we'll say this again throughout the program, how can people view Enough is Enough through Bold Brave TV?
Well, thank you, honey. You know, a lot. Okay, so the thing that's cool is it shows on so many different platforms, and people can actually go to my website, which is echobodine.com, and up right at the very top is all the different platforms that it's airing, and they can also go to boldbravetv.com, and then there's a thing that actually I haven't seen it, but people have told me there's a thing that you can click on, watch live, and it's on Tuesday nights at 8:00 Central, and it's an hour long.
And I see it. I'm on there right now. I'm taking a look. Very easy to find. I think that's a great way for people to go check it out. Go to echobodine.com, right on the homepage. As she says, it's right there.
Yeah, honey, it is. Easy. It's easy to find. That's all I can really say about it. But
I am so happy that you are doing this. I'm so happy that you are getting success on this. I mean, you always find success. So I'm always happy to see that. For those who are listening to us around the world, Echo is homegrown to us in Minnesota. So, you know, obviously, and that's why it's even weirder that it's taken so long to get you back on. But no, I'm excited for it. I'd like to do this, Echo. I'd like to go ahead and take our first break. And when we come back, I'd like to talk about the center. I'd like to talk about all this good stuff. Do we have some questions in the chat? It's a great start to the program. If you have questions for Echo, put them in the chat. You're listening to GhostBox Radio on AM 950.
thank you.
Reach your highest level of consciousness and well-being with metamorphosisconnections.com. Metamorphosisconnections.com is an online directory of the best holistic and metaphysical practitioners to help you make your most informed choices. You can search metamorphosisconnections.com for classes, events, wellness and life coaches, plus metaphysical products and shops. You can also search for a wide array of healers from all modalities, including EFT, sound healing, energy healing, light therapy, ancestral healing, shamanic healing, reflexology, past life regressions, hypnotherapy, yoga, and more. And if you're not sure where to start, the search feature on metamorphosisconnections.com is tailored to help both those who know what they are looking for and those who are just starting. Come explore the possibilities for your higher self by visiting metamorphosisconnections.com. Their experienced practitioners can guide both beginners and those that are already on their spiritual journey. That's metamorphosisconnection.com, your link to direct you on your spiritual transformation.
In the heart of the Northeast, there lies a hidden beast, a dragon's lair at the crossroad, guarded by the maiden Mother Crone. A treasure trove of spells galore, discover incense, books, jewelry, and more. Just as the oracles foretold, this is where your mystery unfolds. As the shadows creep and the veil gets thin, do not fear what lies within. Magus Books is where your journey begins. Visit us at 1848 Central Avenue Northeast in Minneapolis or online at magusbooks.com.
Hello, I'm Jody, also known as Witch Jody on social media. I opened Midwest Witchery and Healing in historic Stillwater because as a nurse, I love to help others. When you come and visit Midwest Witchery and Healing, you will find everything from divination and magical services, classes to ritual tools, jewelries, handcrafted candles, witchy gear, and much more. My store is a safe environment for all on their own unique path. Look for the purple door. Find out more at MidwestWitcheryHealing.com.
It's an absolute must for any true foodie. Vinaigrette at 50th and Xerxes in South Minneapolis offers premium oils and vinegars for the most discriminating of tastes. This is Sarah Piepenberg, owner of Vinaigrette. We bottle on-site, there's no guesswork, and you get to taste test each and every oil and vinegar we offer. Our direct relationship with the growers ensures an uncompromised level of satisfaction. When you need to know you're cooking with the finest ingredients, first contact the independently owned Vinaigrette, 50th and Xerxes in South Minneapolis. Online at vinaigrettemn.com.
And welcome back to GhostBox Radio on AM 950. My name is Greg Bakun. Happy Monday. Thank you so much for joining me. My special guest tonight is Miss Echo Bodine. Does everything, and she is the host of Enough is Enough on Bold Brave TV, psychic medium, Ghostbuster, as you call it. I find, I have to admit, I don't hear the term Ghostbuster all that much. I like hearing that. Was that around before the movie came out? Were you all using that before the movie came out?
No, honey, no.
Out after, yeah.
No, we would just get calls from people. I think I have a ghost in my house. Okay. And we'd just say, we got a ghost job. We never called it that. And then when the movie came out, I remember one night, I looked over at my brother. We were driving to a ghost job and I said, bro, we're Ghostbusters. And we just thought that was so funny because how do you bust a ghost? Really?
Right. But you ain't afraid of no ghost.
No,
So,
I ain't afraid. Well, you know what, honey, I got to tell you the truth. I'm kind of a scaredy cat a little bit because you never know what you're going to find. And
no.
we always, when we walk through a house, we usually have all the lights off because it's easier to see them that way. At least it is for me. And, they're like a white hazy form. And so in the dark, it's like, oh yeah, there we go. And, but walking around in the dark, it's proven to be kind of scary sometimes. And, oh my God, I've gotten a lot better about it and I'm fine about it in the daytime. It's just when it's dark out and we're walking through a big factory or something and it's dark, then I can get freaked out. But
Absolutely. Do you want to? Because a couple things I want to do here. Because we're definitely going to talk about the Center for Intuitive Living. But do you want to take some questions?
Sure, honey. Yeah.
Let's do. Okay, let's do this. Paula says or asks, wondering as far as reincarnation.
Yep.
Do we start all over spiritually as well?
You mean in our next life?
That's how I take it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a really good question, Paula. I wouldn't think so.
Because that's part of the journey, right?
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, think of all the other things we bring with us from other lifetimes. A lot of us bring fear, the different ways that we've died in previous lives. And if there's still an emotional attachment to one of those deaths, then we'll bring that with us into our new life to get resolved. But Paula, that's a really good question, honey.
It is a really good question. And I mean, because it does feel like that everything that we are doing is because I've always kind of thought of it as we pass on and we have like a bit of a kind of a meeting, if you will, about what do we want to achieve this next time and what do we need to do, right?
Yeah.
Very cool. Carol didn't have a question, more of a wonderful comment. She says, I've been so privileged to go see you before at one of your talks. You are so beautiful and inspiring. You answered so many questions people were asking. It's really nice.
Oh, honey, thank you. Thank you, Carol. That's a very nice thing to say.
They don't talk about me that way, but that's fine.
That's not right.
Because I'm too nice. I'm not like enough is enough. So let's see.
You never get to the point where you're like, enough is enough.
Minute by minute, to be very honest. I mean, I just
okay.
Yeah. No, trust me, that was not true. Minute by minute, every I mean, if a cat can make you angry, I mean, obviously you're going to, but he's a special case. He really
Okay, I understand.
Yeah. He's actually tries to kill me. I'm going to post video someday of me walking down the stairs and have it to the ground where you're going to see him literally put his paw out as you're trying to go down the stairs as he tries to trip me. He puts his paw out.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, no, it's serious, I mean.
Yeah.
he's like the cutest monster you could ever imagine. But anyway, let's get back to more important things. Julie asks, do you work in other dimensions in any capacity? That's a great question.
Well, Julie. Well, yes, honey. Oh my goodness. Yes. Most of my life I'm half here in my body on the earth, living a regular life like everybody else. But there's the other half of me that's always on the other side, communicating with the other side or communicating with aliens. I've done that also. Yeah, honey, I communicate with the deceased almost as much as I communicate with the living. So yeah, I'm kind of in between both worlds most of the time.
And I would think that that sometimes with people, that's a harder concept for people to understand.
Yeah, I know.
The dimensional side, right? And it has to be. Part of me thinks that it has to be kind of difficult to try to explain, but once they get it, it has to be pretty rewarding too.
Yeah, it is. It can be. Yeah, it's, like, oh boy, I tell you, people have such different opinions about psychics or what we can do or can't do. And it is tough to explain, like really, Greg, in the summertime, I spend most of my time outside and I have little gardens all over my yard. And when I'm out there, Spirit talks to me a lot. When Spirit talks to me a lot, other than a shower, is when I'm mowing the grass. They'll just come and start talking to me. And what's hard for me is that maybe a neighbor will come over to talk, and it's like it pulls me out of that dimension, brings me back to this dimension. But for a second, usually, or longer than a second, I get confused on, okay, what, and I have gotten better about telling my neighbor, what, I'm talking to my invisible friends right now. And she's like, oh, okay. So, but honey, as you know, we can't talk to people like this.
No.
You're everyday person. We can't. So it can be challenging. But I guess I have to say it's been that challenge has been there my whole life, being in another dimension, then feeling pulled to come back to this dimension. Yeah.
That makes, I once knew a medium who had said that she always thought a great time to talking to a spirit would be exactly kind of what you're saying about you're mowing the lawn, you're doing dishes, you're doing something, but your mind is available to just kind of let that happen on its own.
Yes.
But receive the messages coming through.
Yes. Honey, I agree. Totally. Oh God, totally. Totally. Yes. And you're right. I think it's when I'm doing mundane things that I could do in my sleep, and then they come and start chatting with me. So, yeah.
And I mean, I suppose in a way that'd be a great opportunity for those who want to experience talking with spirit, but maybe haven't. Try to be available during something like that, perhaps.
Yes. Yeah, I know when I haven't been doing readings for about a year, and I know when I did do readings, and I would sit down and I would, you got to ground yourself, you got to clear yourself, and then just open up to the other side. Um, the thing about it is that to people who are going to a psychic, we look like we're just sitting there, just sitting there. And there's so much going on trying to ground ourselves and then trying to open up psychically and go to a different level. And, because a lot of people want to know, my husband just died, my wife just died. Is she okay? Okay. So that means I need to go through this, honey, really, it's like steps. And then you get yourself to a high level vibrationally. See, I even hate to talk like that, but it's almost like you have to lighten yourself up, and then you can communicate to that side. And, that's also too, my clients, people that were my regulars, they knew, don't talk to me when I'm trying to get to that level, or even during the reading. People, and this might be good for people to know, that when a psychic is trying to work for you, we are trying to connect to the different levels. And it's best if you don't talk to us during the session. When the psychic, or at least when I was there on the other dimension, I had kind of shut down this dimension. Then I would say to the clients, okay, do you have questions? So it's like I pulled myself back here so I can hear their questions.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I can go back up. So that used to be so distracting for me when people would start talking about something that I just said. And gosh, Greg, I would just be like, wait, no. And then, okay. And then start over and work my way back to that other dimension.
That makes sense. It also feels like it, it's not only is it interfering in your concentration, but it's also, whether, you want it or not, I would assume there's always kind of a fear of leading as well. Then, it's like they're putting something in your mind that you're just like, no, let me focus on what I'm supposed to tell you. Don't,
Right. Yes. Yeah.
No, I totally get it. And if I were a medium, I've said it to other people, because I've been to enough psychic fairs, I've had enough tables at different places, that I've heard this, and it just makes me cringe. And I don't know what other people think about this, but I would hate to be asked the question of, when am I going to die?
Oh, honey, you know what? Now, maybe you can explain this one to me. Honest to God, I would say 95% of the population over the last, 54 years, when they say to me, oh, what do you do for a living? Oh, I'm a psychic, Oh, don't tell me when I'm going to die. Honey, why is that the first thing they always think? Do you know?
I think it's interesting, because I feel like, and I'm not trying to make anyone angry with these sort of things I'm going to say here. I feel like the more people are into organized religion, and this is just my opinion, folks, just my opinion.
Yeah.
The more they fear death. The more people are into spiritualism,
True.
the more that they are okay with, they feel like that they know the next steps.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that we're welcoming it. Doesn't mean like I'm on top of the building of this, of here and going, take me, but it's like, I don't fear it. My parents have passed. I've heard from them. I know it's fine. If I were a medium, I think I would, if someone asked me, do you know when I'm going to die? I'd probably just look at my clock and like, what time is it now? You know what I mean?
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine? Honey, when I say to somebody, hi, how are you? Why? What do you know? Okay. I mean, no, it's just a question. I'm just asking a question. I just want to know how you are. But it makes them really nervous that a psychic is saying, hi, how are you? I can't tell you how many people say that to me. Why? What do you know? I don't know anything. That's why I'm asking.
They think, I mean, and I do hear that sometimes messages come. I mean, we all do have some intuitive abilities. I certainly have embraced mine a lot more over the past number of years.
Good.
But the idea of people thinking that random things just come to you, and I know it can,
Yeah,
it's not all the time. It's not like you see somebody and you're just like, cut down on the salt, it's, it really is just like, and the way that, or the other side of it, Echo, is when people are, the skeptics are like, if you're driving and you take a wrong turn, and like, well, you didn't see that coming, I mean, that sort of rudeness of the really not understanding the basics of what mediumship entails and how the messages come to you.
Right. Yeah, honey, I agree. I love it when they ask questions rather than saying to me, well, okay, just give me what you got. It's like, really? For me, when I get a question from someone specifically, then I know what to go after. And it'll help me also to identify the pictures that come into my mind. And so, another thing the media does is they say that we psychics, we go fishing a lot. And again, see, there's another one of those, enough is enough. Because if they understood how psychic abilities work, we do, people that have clairvoyance, we get our information in the form of pictures, and they come in almost like a cartoon strip, one picture at a time. And so our job is to, first of all, see all the things that are coming in, but then try to interpret it, because sometimes the pictures are literal and other times they're symbolic. And so that's why we ask questions, because we're trying to figure out what we're seeing. And, we'll say to a client, does this resonate with you? Does this sound like you? We're not fishing. We're not hoping they're going to tell us their life story so we can feed it back to them. We are just trying to be accurate with the information that we're receiving. So, yeah, questions for me work really well. And like you were saying, honey, for me, usually it when somebody asks me a question, that will help me open up psychically. But there are times, I remember recently meeting a man, a friend of a friend, and honey, I saw like a case of Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola. Okay, what, the guy likes to drink Coca-Cola? And then I heard problem. Okay, well, I didn't know what to. Well, okay, what do you do with that? And so I asked my guides. Okay, is there more information? Medical. Okay, so let me put this together. He has a medical problem and it's because of Coca-Cola? Yes. What? Yes. So after this man left, I said to this acquaintance of ours, I said, does he have medical problems? Oh, does he ever? Oh, okay. Does he drink a lot of Coke? Oh, God, at least 12-pack or 18-pack a day.
Wow.
Okay, well, so then, okay, I knew what I was working with here. So then I went back and I said, okay, if he cuts that out, is that going to help? And they said, tremendously. So I said, okay, well, you can pass that on to your friend if you think it would help. But if it doesn't feel right to share it with them, then don't. But at least we know now that the problems are stemming from, and believe me, I drink Diet Coke once in a while, so I'm not saying Coke is bad or any pop is bad. There's nothing bad here except the amount that he was drinking. And it just, it was like his pancreas was screaming, his liver was screaming, his stomach was screaming. honey? And so, yeah, sometimes I'll be standing talking to somebody and boom, all the information comes.
He sounds more sugar than man. So hope he's able to get the help he needs. Why don't we do this? Why don't we go ahead and let's take our next break? The hour is going by fast. We haven't even got to anything we really wanted to talk about. Keep the questions coming. We're going to be talking about the center. We're going to be talking about what's going on with Echo. You're listening to GhostBox Radio on AM 950.
If you own a holistic or metaphysical business and are looking to expand, then you need to be listed on metamorphosisconnections.com. It's a network where you can grow with like-minded practitioners and reach new clients. Metamorphosisconnections.com is an online directory you need to list yourself and your business. Our platform makes it easy for you to create listings of your products and services, and you can also choose to list your classes, events, and so much more. Metamorphosisconnections.com helps you create weekly and monthly promotional ads targeted towards your potential clients and promotes them for you via social media and newsletter. There are clients searching for your specialty right now. Let us help them find you. Start your listing today so you can share your own unique gifts and talents by finding the level of membership that best fits your needs. Let us help you reach your clients that are searching for what you do. Visit metamorphosisconnections.com and sign up today.
Hello, I'm Jody, also known as Witch Jody on social media. I opened Midwest Witchery and Healing in historic Stillwater because as a nurse, I love to help others. When you come and visit Midwest Witchery and Healing, you will find everything from divination and magical services, classes to ritual tools, jewelries, handcrafted candles, witchy gear, and much more. My store is a safe environment for all on their own unique path. Look for the purple door. Find out more at MidwestWitcheryHealing.com.
You want to feel important. You want to be part of something bigger, something that matters and that you can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We felt that way too. I'm Sergeant Michael Tislin from Chaska, Minnesota, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Minnesota Army National Guard soldiers. We are people just like you, and together we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit nationalguard.com/MN to find out more. Sponsored by the Minnesota Army National Guard, aired by the Minnesota Broadcasters Association and this station.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Overnight cloudy skies clear out with a low of 20, then sunshine Tuesday with a high of 27. For more than 40 years, the Great Wall Restaurant has been serving up Szechuan and Mandarin favorites. The Great Wall is located just north of 50th in France on the Minneapolis-Edina City line. Check them out at greatwallrestaurant.us.
And join me tomorrow on GhostBox Radio with Greg Bakun. We're going to have on Tim Rayborn. We're supposed to have him on last week, but I had to cancel. He wrote Scary Book of Christmas Lore. That's going to be very, very timely, of course, but also very good. Wednesday, we're going to have on author Anthony F. Sanchez, his new book, UFO Nexus, A Journey into Alien Realms and Cosmic Secrets. I've been reading that book. It is really interesting. It's going to be a great conversation. Thursday, we're going to do a replay of Restoring the Patterson film with M.K. Davis. And then, of course, Friday is Casual Friday. But we are having a fantastic Monday as we have on with us today Miss Echo Bodine. Once again, thank you so much for being on with me today.
Honey, we're having a fun time. I love it. Thank you.
Don't you wish the show is 2 hours?
Yes.
We were talking about it, but don't worry, it's not tonight. Don't worry. Okay. And we're starting it now.
Okay, so you know what I did? I looked at the questions really quick so I can answer them very, very fast. Sherry, I don't do readings on TikTok, but now you got me thinking. Let's see, Amy. Honey, for all of you that want to see spirit, want to develop your abilities, I am going to start a psychic development class on Saturday mornings from 11 to 12:30 on Zoom. And they start right January. I don't have the date in front of me, but you can find that information out at echobodine.com. it's $25 a week, and it'll run for 10 weeks. Okay, and then
now I warned everybody. I said I'll just stand back and let you. Jokingly, I said I'll let you host the show, and you're actually doing it.
Honey, I don't want to take your job from you.
No, you trust me. It doesn't pay too well. So yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I get it.
I don't blame you.
Okay, and Carol wanted to know, is there a heaven and a hell? And yes, there is. But there is a heaven, and it's absolutely gorgeous and really, really cool over there. And there is not a hell. What the angels have told me is that God would never create a place where any of his children would go and burn until eternity. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, what? But okay, that's a religion's deal, but that's not the way it is.
Can I
yes.
ask something? Because I have always had a theory on that. I feel like that any hell after you pass, any hell you create is your own because of what you've learned in this life.
Yeah.
And when she also asked in the question, like, do evil people have to go through life again or whatever? And I've always thought to myself that if you are evil, but you don't think that what you're doing is evil,
right,
that there is no hell for you then.
Yep, that's right. Honey, really, okay, I wrote a book and it came out, was it this year already? Honey, I don't remember, but it's called How to Live a Happily Ever After Life. And it's all about ghosts, and it's about heaven, and it's about hell. Interesting. I had an out-of-body experience where I was able to go to the other side. It was during the day, and I saw a lot of what heaven is, what's going on over there. It's really like Earth, but only the good parts, okay? And there is a place over there, and the guides told me that God would never create a place of hell, but that we have created this place in heaven that we think hell is going to be like. And the angel said that at a certain point, none of us will all be clear that what karma is whatever we do unto others will be done unto us. And we will all realize there is no such thing as hell. And you're right. It's all about our beliefs. And, honey, that's the main reason that we have found with why souls won't go on to the other side and they stay here and remain ghosts.
Great.
Because there's so many that believe in hell and are afraid that's where they're going to go. So that's why they stay earthbound. So
I do spirit box work. I use a spirit box, but I use my own mediumship to help pull through people's loved ones and stuff through spirit box.
Good.
And I also use it for crossovers. And the one thing that seems to work is trying to reassure spirit that there is no judgment on the other side, only loved ones and family or friends or something. And then it seems to work.
Honey, I agree. There's so many times we told these ghosts, no, you don't have to worry about that. It's not what you think. But they're so heavily convinced that there is a hell that's why they stay here, which is really sad.
It is.
Sad.
It is. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the Center for Intuitive Living that you have been the director of since 2003. So it's congratulations on 20 years of that. And I have yet, and I need to change this. I have yet to come out there.
Honey, you have to. The one that I have now just opened this January 2023. And it's a place I've wanted for about 15 years. It's in the Hub Shopping Center in Richfield. This Saturday, we're having our monthly open house. We have an open house the third Saturday of every month. And this Saturday, it's open from 10 to 5. It's, oh God, Greg, you have to come because it's such a fun place. And, we usually have about 32 vendors, psychics, astrology, oh God, honey, numerology, all of it. And healers. It's really, really a fun day. And I always put a nice spread of food out for people. And right now, I've got it all decorated for Christmas. And it's just, I'm so proud of this one. And I loved the last one, but when the pandemic came out, then I had to close that. And so this year I finally have the one I really, really wanted. So, honey, you have to come.
I do. And like you said, is this Saturday and called Aurapalooza.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And it's in the Hub Shopping Center. I'm right in between China Garden and Walgreens. And my address is number 8, West 66th Street in Richfield. Yeah. You got to come.
And once again, folks, if you listening and you want to check it out, go to echobodine.com. Because it's all on there, and especially Aurapalooza and also Mini Palooza. That's going to be May 6th.
Honey, the big one is so busy, and so we just had a thought. I think that it was in the summertime because we did an ice cream social, and so we had a little mini Aurapalooza on the first Saturday of the month, and a lot of people came, and they said that they preferred that to the big one on the third Saturday. And so we continue to do the little mini ones. And that's only got about 8 or 9 vendors. Yeah. But again, psychics, it's a wonderful mix of people and talented people. It's good. It's a good place.
That is really neat. And I've always heard so many good things about it. I come out from St. Michael's, so maybe that's why I haven't made it that far over.
That's a ways, isn't that, honey? How long does it take to get to the city?
It takes to get to downtown, it takes about 30 minutes. Out to Richfield, probably about 45 or so. But that's the good news, Twin Cities isn't that big when you compare it. And when it also you talk about like traffic and stuff like that, that's not really always a concern. So it's really cool to go out and check out. And plus we got to support our local our local get-togethers like this.
Yeah, that's right, honey. That's right. Yeah, it's got it. Yeah, I mean, Greg, you have to come. Even if you can't come this Saturday, honey, it's always the third Saturday of every month. And I've got a theater-style popcorn machine. So I always make great popcorn with coconut oil. People love my popcorn. And if nothing else, you and I have to hug. I mean, come on, man.
Come on. I can come out there, start asking people when I'm going to die.
Yeah. Hey, you know what you could do? You could go to each psychic and just stand there and then just, when am I going to die? And then go see the next one and see how many all come up with the same date, and then we'll know.
Well, we'll take a consensus. That's macabre. But I love it actually. Or I can come up to the psychics and just stare at them, and they're like, yes. And you're like, well, you should know my question.
Oh God, I hate that so much. Oh my God. Yes. And people say that to me all the time. They'll come up to my popcorn machine. Well, what do you see? It's like, I don't see anything. I see a popcorn machine there. And
you're not getting any.
No, right. Well, that would be pretty mean.
but I mean, the theme is enough's enough. So tonight. So I mean, it's
right.
Now, enough is enough. Is it seasons or is it continuous like this jail sentence that I'm in? Is it every week, or do you stop for a few months? Or
no, it's every week, and they just what's the word I want? Added more onto my. I'm not saying that right, but they've honey, what am I trying to say? They've increased but that doesn't sound right. Anyway, it's going to last a long time. There.
Okay, so they extended you.
Extended. Thank you. Got it. Yes, they just extended my contract because the show is doing really well.
That's fantastic.
I know.
I'm really happy. So you're going to be on
Yeah.
tomorrow night, actually.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what the topic is, or do you kind of just free flow? Or
You know what's been coming to me is talk about intuition and how it can help us get through the holidays. That's what I want to talk about. And then, and then next week I have a retired Lutheran pastor friend who is very much on our path, our spiritual path. He's going to come on next week and we're going to talk. It's going to be good because he presents some ideas that a lot of Christians don't like, but it feels really accurate when he talks. So we're going to talk about Christmas next week.
I'm gonna have to check that out. That sounds perfect.
Yeah, honey. And you know what?
Yeah.
All the volumes, all the shows that have already aired, they're listed right on the homepage on my website. So yeah, people can go back and listen to them anytime they want.
And the show is called Enough is Enough. It is on Bold Brave TV, but you can find it as well as when Aurapalooza is, which is coming up this Saturday.
Yes.
You can find all that information at echobodine.com. Echo, the time is up, but boy, what a great time. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, honey. Maybe I'll talk to you in another 8 years.
Okay, well, that's a date. All right.
Okay, honey. Thank you.
Thank you. And everybody, tomorrow we'll be back with talking about Christmas stories. Everyone, have a great night.
Hi, it's Matt McNeil. Listen to the Matt McNeil Show from 3 until 5 weekday afternoons right here on the Progressive Voice of Minnesota, AM 950 KT.